Do It or Ditch It time. This is where we take a look at something in the theme parks and decide whether it is worth doing or not doing at all, in which case we say, ditch it. Hopefully we won't be saying too much of that, but it's worth knowing whether or not something is worth your vacation time. And today it is all about Na'vi River Journey at Disney's Animal Kingdom inside the World of Pandora. Avatar Land, as many people call it. The Na'vi River Journey is something that is located just alongside the mega attraction Flight of Passage. This is something that if you don't know it's there, you might walk right past it and keep going, but most people do know that it's there. It is a soft, sort of easygoing boat ride, very, very much a peaceful attraction with no real sort of climax to it. It's just a very gentle ride that's in a beautiful environment, and then off you go. It's a nice place to go take a break from the heat, that's for sure. Mesmerizing colors, beautiful dark ride type atmosphere. Certainly something that I would consider to be a new age dark ride. But we did reach out to all of you when it came to the Kingdom Report audience, and we asked, is Na'vi River Journey worth your Animal Kingdom time? And in the poll, you responded by saying it's a must-do, 50%, and not really, 50%.
Wow.
Over 300 of you responded to this poll, and I watched this go back and forth all week until finally the cutoff came, and it was at 50-50. And I was stunned by that, mainly because people are truly divided about this ride.
Yeah.
It seems whether or not it is truly worth their time, whether they'd go out of their way for it. We will start here in studio with Katrina Manzoni and what she thinks when it comes to Na'vi River Journey. It is a ride that oftentimes does command a huge weight, mainly because it's in Pandora. And Pandora is the new hotness at Animal Kingdom. So everybody rushes back there. That is the first place most people go to in the morning because they want to get on the other ride, Flight of Passage. And this seems to be a lot of times something to do in the interim for a lot of people. But what's your take on this ride?
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh,
so,
dang it.
Oh, my God.
No, jeez.
But I like the ride. I think it's very peaceful. I think if you know the story behind it, it's actually really beautiful. I can see people with like kids that may not appreciate it as much because it is a very quiet ride. It's not like Pirates where there's, shooting all the whole time and there's always action and adventure the whole time. It's honestly a very quiet, peaceful journey, and you just go through Pandora
Placidly.
And then you just, you see like the different creatures, the plants and stuff, and then at the end you finally see the shaman. And then so like that's like the big reveal at the end. And honestly, I can see some people, if they want like an action ride, this is not for you. I like it. I say do it. If fast passes do come back, I would definitely say do it. If it's 120 minutes, then I would probably say don't. Wait until the end of the night.
Now, oftentimes, fast passes at Walt Disney World will, be categorized by level of ride and stuff like that. Would you say if you can't get a fast pass to this, but you could get a fast pass to say, I don't know, any other level of attraction like
usually
it?
it's Flight of Passage or the River Journey.
I was going to say,
Flight of Passage.
Most people would say that, right?
Yeah. If you had a 2-day, if you knew you were going to Animal Kingdom for 2 days, I would say, you get the Flight of Passage for the first day, and then the last day, try the river, try the River Journey. But if you know the story, it's actually really cool because, like, and I don't know, did you want to talk about it? I know you love the story about going.
Tell us the story.
To the river.
Story? Or what are you going to say about it?
I don't know.
You mean just like
You-
how it's like a prelude to?
Yeah.
Well,
It is beautiful. I don't know. He likes saying the story. He always tells it to people. I thought I was gonna
Well,
let,
okay,
I was gonna
okay.
let him
Gather
say
around,
it.
everyone, while
All right.
Tyler shares
Yes.
with you the story about
Light a
Na'vi River
fire.
Journey.
Dim the
Let's do
lights,
this.
everybody. Get your popcorn.
So that's actually one of my reasons that I would say is were you going to say something else
No,
too,
go
or should I
ahead.
just go into my turn? Okay.
Just go into it.
So
That's fine.
I say definitely do it, like 100%. And like Katrina was alluding to here, this is an attraction that, listen, when you go, I would say 100% you should do Flight of Passage too when you go to Animal Kingdom, right? And this attraction is literally the beginning of Flight of Passage. It's all of the Na'vi taking you in, and accepting you so that you can be a part of their culture and enjoy a flight on a Banshee. And so it all leads up to Flight of Passage. That's one thing to keep in mind. I think that's a super cool thing that they kind of did, like 2 separate attractions that one leads into the other one.
I'm sure a lot of people that goes right over their head. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't even
people
realize.
don't really know it until someone told us when we went around Pandora, and I was like, "What? That's
Right.
cool."
A connection.
So if you want the full story of Flight of Passage, which is obviously a do it, go on this ride because it's a better pre-show than Flight of Passage has. That's
oh
for sure.
my!
So so anyway, I mean, so that's a major component for me. The other thing is, I think the technology is just so cool. I mean, not only does it have a lot of projection stuff that that works flawlessly, like people don't even understand, like sometimes that you see that waterfall over there? Not even a real waterfall. That's just a projection that kind of tricks your brain. And they do it, yeah, and they bubble up the water a little bit, and they do it so well that unless you really know what you're looking for, you might not even realize that it's a fake waterfall. So I think that's super cool. Like the little centipedes coming out of the log and stuff in that one area. It's like I just get mesmerized by it. And of course, the shaman at the end, she is just fantastic. She's one of the coolest animatronics in all the Disney parks, I feel like. And she just moves so fluidly, and you can see her there. She's kind of like, she's playing the music that you're listening to, like, and it just is such a really cool idea. And I love the song. The song gets stuck in my head, even though I'm not Garrett. I don't speak Na'vi, but I mean, it sounds beautiful. But it's just such a cool experience. And I think a third thing for me too is when you've had a long day at a theme park, this is one of those reset and unwind attractions that you sit in there for 5 minutes or whatever it is, and it can totally just like calm you down. You're out of the big crowds, you're out of the heat of Florida, and you get this nice air conditioning, and it just kind of, it's a palate cleanser. And that's another reason I say do it.
It is definitely quick, that's for sure. Yeah,
Yes.
It's a quick ride, so also something to keep in mind. I feel like Flight of Passage has a real bang for its buck, and it's a little bit longer, but this attraction is definitely one of those, or at least it feels longer. This attraction is definitely one of those where it's a short ride, but it is a palate cleanser?
Clallet.
Let me say that again.
Cleanser, yeah.
Clallet? No, cleanser? Well, now we are going to jump out to Walt Disney World in front of this very attraction where Garrett Hassel, our Florida reporter, is hanging out. Buddy, when it comes to this ride, Na'vi River Journey, would you say do it or ditch it?
I am in the same belief of Tyler, which is you have to do it. It's simply amazing. Outside of it, you have an image of the shaman that was hand stitched with some sort of vines, and the story that's involved in this, like Tyler said, is amazing. The visual effects inside are just breathtaking. And when you see the movie Avatar and you see Jake running through the forest and you see all the bioluminescence, that is what's going on inside the ride, and it just adds more to the overall theme. You feel really immersed in this attraction. And I think one of my favorite effects is when you look above at one part, you have the little spinning lizards and these six-legged frogs interacting with each other, where a lizard will jump down and then you'll see it spin around and go away, and then a frog will jump from each one. I think it's such a cool thing.
Go frog, go.
When I say jump, because they're on these giant, leaves, but you see the leaves bounce, so it has that depth effect where you can see these creatures actually moving in the forest. And yeah, it's such a peaceful attraction. It's a palate cleanser, like both of you have said.
Is that how you say it, though?
Palate.
All
Yeah,
right, let's not make fun of my
Okay,
dyslexia
all
here.
right, yeah. Palate cleansing. There we are. Well, and tell me this, Garrett, because I mentioned here a few minutes ago that obviously it's one of those rides where if you'd walk right past that because you wouldn't even realize it was an
It's
attraction.
true.
Yeah, you're
Honestly,
right.
if
It's
you
like a
don't
dark
know,
corner, like there's
the lines
there's
of people,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but if there was
Yeah,
no
right.
line, I would never
Yeah,
know.
right now it says standby is 45 minutes, but
That's not bad.
that's not that bad. I'm pretty sure it's a lot shorter than that. Pandora is different than any other attraction where they have a giant sign where you can tell what's going on there, because they want you to feel like you are a visitor coming to Pandora, and you can easily walk by it. There's no giant sign that says Na'vi River Journey or Flight of Passage. It's literally a sign that says Na'vi River Journey. You may get wet. health and safety precautions, and then the wait time. You easily walk by, you'd have no clue, and it just adds to the overall theme of this land. But I recommend going on it at night because the night just adds to it, because you go on the attraction and you enter the nighttime world of Pandora, and then you come outside and you see the bioluminescence of the land happening all around you.
Good call.
You see
How romantical.
Yeah.
it is romantic. Yeah, both Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey, I think, are better at night overall, because when you come out, you really can see the beauty of this land at night. Because before, this park didn't have a nighttime, but adding Pandora, which shines at night, literally, makes it just so much more immersive and amazing.
Agreed. Hey, and when it comes to the wait time, so I think this is a good question for everybody too, so we'll go around and get everybody's take on this. When it comes to the wait time, obviously we've all said so far that if you have the opportunity to do one or the other, Flight of Passage or Navi River Journey, we would all say do Flight of Passage, of course. But when it comes to a wait time, if you're not able to get a fast pass for a ride like this, so right now, for example, you can't get fast passes due to them not being available at the moment in Disney parks. But if you're not able to get a fast pass for this, when would you say is the cutoff? Time-wise, how long would you wait?
For me, for Flight of Passage,
Nope.
right now,
Navi River Journey. Talking about that right behind you.
No, I'm trying to compare the two.
Oh, I see.
For this
Okay.
one, yeah, like, because that one can be 2 hours. For Navi River, 45 where it is right now, that'd probably be my cutoff. If it was an hour, I probably wouldn't wait in that line. I would use a fast pass if I can, if that feature ever comes back. But 45 seems like a good amount of time for any attraction of this scale. Some people wait 2 hours for Mine Train, for example, and that's even shorter than this attraction. And I don't think that's worth it. So 45 is a good wait time for Navi River Journey.
Thank you for that,
It's hot.
sir.
It's just hot right now.
Well, of course, naturally, it's
Florida.
Florida in summer. That's what happens. Yeah. And what do you think, Tyler? A time limit on this? What would you not wait?
I mean, I think if I've never done it before, I think like 45 minutes to an hour probably is my tops for that ride. Like, again, if I've never seen it before, but for, I've been on it a few times now, obviously, and I think that, 30 minutes is probably a good cutoff. I suppose the thing is too for me though is that there's really not that much to do in Animal Kingdom, so like ride wise, so you only have so many choices there, and if you're going to spend an entire day at Animal Kingdom, I mean, there's no reason not to spend time going on that ride. I think of it as like it's almost like a fictional fantasy version of Living with the Land.
What a clever thing to say.
It's really it really is like, hey, enjoy the Earth, on Living with the Land, and enjoy Pandora on
in their
Navi
land.
River Journey.
Yeah. Oh, very clever. And what do you think, Katrina, time-wise?
I honestly agree with Garrett. Like 45 minutes is actually a pretty good time to wait. Even with me writing it multiple times, I would wait like 45 minutes tops. If I was a newbie, I would be like 45 to an hour. But if it's over an hour, just come back, because you just at
Find
that
another
point
time.
just stand in line for Flight of Passage, and then maybe just like kind of check your app to see if the times go down, because there's always like a flux.
Mhm.
And so at the end of the night. But 45 for me, an hour if you're a new person.
All right,
Yeah.
there you go. Do it's all around for Navi River Journey at Animal Kingdom, Pandora World of Avatar. Let us know in the comment section if you feel like this is worth doing, and what's your time cutoff. Do you feel like beyond an hour you wouldn't wait for something like that? I think that's a very important part to this question as well.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.